back over to the desk.
All right, and as we mentioned moments ago, hundreds of nurses at Kapiolani Medical Center are now locked out.
It was a promised action by the hospital if their union didn't accept the proposed contract deal put forth in recent negotiations. Here's a live look from in front of the hospital. The union just completed a one-day strike at 6:59 this morning to protest what they call unfair labor practices at the hospital. The lockout took effect at 7 a.m. Nurses told us yesterday they plan to return to work after the strike, defying the scheduled lockout. The hospital says it sent notice over the last week and that a return without an agreement would not be possible. Union leaders rallied their members this morning as an uncertain future takes hold.
You will remember this day for the rest of your lives, because this is the first day you are fighting for the working people of Hawaii.
Well, nurses and supporters were out in front of the hospital throughout the day and night yesterday. By the third year of the contract, the hospital is offering base salaries between $133,000 and $160,000 for 3-day work weeks. But the union says it's not about pay. They claim a major sticking point in the negotiations is staffing level issues and nurse-to-patient ratios. Hundreds of temporary nurses are now in place to keep patient care going.
What I want to stress is we want our nurses back to the bedside. We want them caring for their patients. When the nursing union calls and they are ready to go back to the table, we're going back to the table.
I just ask that anyone out there can appeal to the governor and all of our state and local representatives and tell them you want the nurses to have a good contract and for your children and all the children to have their good local nurses back.
The governor released a statement saying in part that in general, a governor should not intervene in these kinds of negotiations unless it is really hurting the state's people, because at the end of the day, both sides are going to have to work together like Ohana.
Let's take you back out live now to the hospital. And yesterday, both of us were out there watching things unfold at different times of the day. And in the morning, there was a lot of the nurses who were out there. They were exuberant, hugging. It seemed like a real Ohana atmosphere. I don't know if that changed as you went to the afternoon.
Yeah, a lot of tense, I felt like a lot of tense moments, emotional, and just some perspective for you. The last union lockout was 40 years ago in 1984 when carpenters and union and the IBEW actually were locked out by the General Contractors Association. So there's no precedent for this, a really historic moment. We're just hearing from nurses right now who, you know, they were warned of this, but they intentionally wanted to defy that and say, you know, the demonstration out there now is their way of protesting what they're calling unfair labor practices, and they did file a complaint.
We have a team that is out there on the scene. We'll continue to cover this, and if we get more details, we'll deliver it to you right here on Sunrise. And if we get that also, we'll put that online at hawaiinewsnow.com. The state